Ride along each week as we share proven strategies to strengthen your business, energize your team, and create the business success you've been dreaming about. And now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
How efficiently does work get done in your organization? Welcome to the Ultimate Business Tune-Up Podcast, where our one and only goal is to help you tune up your business so you can have the long-lasting success and fulfillment that comes from owning a solid, profitable, and sustainable business. Each week we dive deep into a single topic related to improving your business, improving your team engagement, or improving your relationship with your customers. This week I want to explore with you the different ways that work gets done in an organization. And more importantly, I want to encourage and inspire you to perhaps rethink how work is getting done in your business. I realize this may seem like a pretty simple topic, but when you stop and think about it, how work gets done is perhaps the biggest driver of whether a business is profitable or not. And sadly, far too many businesses are walking past dollar bills every day because they haven't spent much time or effort thinking about the simple task of getting work done. That's why I want to ask this simple yet profound question this week. How efficiently does work get done in your organization? And I know that for many of you listening, the answer to this question is probably a relative one, meaning that the measure of how efficiently work is getting done is best answered by comparing it to something. Perhaps comparing your new team to your old team, or comparing your new approach to your old approach, or even comparing today with how things were a year ago. But I don't want to address this question as a relative to kind of question, but rather as an either-or kind of question. You see, I believe that work gets done in any business or organization of any kind in one of three different ways. Let me define these three methods or approaches to getting work done. Then I'll ask you which applies most directly to your business. Let's start with the approach that's easiest to implement and perhaps the one that's used most often by team members in many businesses. This approach is most accurately defined as getting work done by guesswork. That's right, guesswork. Here's what I mean. Everyone in the business does things that he or she thinks is the way it should be done. They bring to the business their own set of skills, knowledge, experience, and passion, and they apply these to the job or jobs they've been given. They do the best they can with what they know and hope that the outcome is good enough. And when the outcome is not good enough, their boss or supervisor makes a fuss about it. They simply try something different, using something they've heard others do, watching a YouTube video some friend recommended, or trying to apply a Band-Aid to whatever the problem seems to be. This approach to getting work done is a lot like not feeling well, but rather than going to the doctor to find out what's wrong, you simply start trying things you've heard might work. It might be a remedy your mother used before. It might be the thing your neighbor tried last week, or even some new cure you saw in an ad on Facebook. Now, before you laugh off this approach to getting work done as foolish or amateurish, perhaps you should look around at your business and make sure that that's not how many of your team members are doing their work. Here's a quick test for you. Are your team members following a script? Are your team members using checklists? Are your team members doing things all the same way? Are your team members getting similar results? If the answer to these questions is no or not really, then you may in fact be using this approach to get work done in your business. The second approach to getting work done in a business is not quite as easy as the first, and it's much harder to apply across the board. This second approach is most accurately described as getting work done by hard work. Here's what I mean by the hard work approach. Much of the real results in a business are accomplished by one or two or a few of your team members killing themselves and doing all the heavy lifting. These few dedicated individuals are determined to get the job done and will go out of their way to do whatever's necessary to achieve the win. There's nothing written down. They just know the details of the business in their head, and they pass their knowledge between each other, much like tribal knowledge back in the days of the cowboys and Indians. If someone joins the team who they like, they'll share their inside information with them. But if they don't like a new team member, they'll withhold their knowledge and watch the new person flounder and fail. Many times, the employees who are part of a hard work approach to getting work done business will work lots of overtime, take work home with them, or always have a backlog of work that needs to be done. The stress level is high, the quality of service is low, the enjoyment factor is missing, and the overall teamwork is dysfunctional at best. Now, I may have exaggerated just a bit on my definition of this hard work approach, but I did it not to get you to say, well, that's not us, but rather for you to pause and consider whether you might be using this approach to getting work done in your business. Here's a quick test for you to use. Are your customers' history and insights all found in a CRM system? Do your team members openly welcome and teach new employees? Do your team members all put forth the same effort? Do your team members generate similar results for your business? If the answer to these questions is no or not really, then you may in fact be using this approach to get work done in your business. The third approach to getting work done in a business may appear to be the most difficult, but actually it's the easiest and most efficient in the long run. This third approach is most accurately described as getting work done by framework. When the framework approach is used, the business runs predictably because every function of the business is governed by a process or a set of processes. Everything is written down, documented, and systematized. The workflow is consistent and smooth. Every day has a rhythm and a pace to it. The work of the business is not difficult or challenging because everything is done following a script or a practice set of steps. I liken it to watching a mature dance couple float around the dance floor. Whether it's the tango or a country line dance, they know the steps by heart and they're in absolute sync and flow. If you're a football fan, you could relate to everyone on the field knowing the play that's being run. Everyone knows their position, knows their moves, knows their responsibility, and when the play is run to perfection, it ends up in a touchdown every time. This may sound like a daunting task, but if done right, it's not difficult at all. Using the framework approach to getting work done is critically important for the profitability and success of any business. Because it's so important, I want to give you an easy 5-step process you can use to introduce the framework approach to every area of your business. Here are the simple 5 steps. Step 1, decide which process or work task to work on. Rather than try to fix every workflow in the business, be strategic in what you work on first. Think about where the opportunities for improvement lie and pick the process or set of activities that may generate the biggest win if you could make them better right away. Step number 2, document how the process works right now. In this step, you simply want to record what's happening right now. This is not the time to be thinking about making any changes. I recommend you find a large open wall and get a pack of multicolored sticky notes. Simply write down each step of the current process on a single sticky note. As you write them down, just stick them on the wall in the sequence they happen. When you're finished, you'll have a large, very visible flow chart of how work gets done today. Step 3 is brainstorm ideas for ways to improve the current workflow. With the large visible flow chart in front of you, think about ways you could make the flow better, faster, or smoother. It may mean eliminating handoffs. It may mean creating forms or checklists. It may mean combining some redundant tasks. Don't actually make any changes to the flowchart on the wall. Just collect the ideas and brainstorm as many ideas as possible. Step 4, decide which ideas to use in a new process. Once you've had time to think about and explore alternative ideas, pick those that are easy to implement, simple to understand, and make the current process more robust or more reliable. These changes should not be the ones that require big, expensive investments or new technology. Start first with the simple, practical improvements that will reduce errors, eliminate waste, or minimize time. And step 5, document the new, improved workflow. Once you've incorporated your ideas into the sticky note wall, have someone capture the new flow in a document or checklist that can be shared with everyone in the business. Make this new document the guide for everyone to use for this particular workflow. Once you've done this 5-step process for one workflow, you can do it over and over again for every other workflow in your business. Before you know it, your business will be running on new and improved process workflows, not the memory of your senior-most employee who's getting tired of being the repository of all company knowledge. So you've got some homework. First, you've got to determine how work is getting done in your business today. Is it getting done by guesswork, or is it getting done by hard work? If it's one of these, then you've got some work to do yourself to organize your team to begin the 5-step framework building activity. If you're one of the few businesses that's already getting work done by framework today, your assignment is to take your team through the 5-step process to make your framework even better and sharper. I hope you found this helpful. I'm confident that if you could move from guesswork or hard work to framework, your business will be stronger, your team members will be more productive, and your customers will get a better outcome when doing business with you. It's truly a win-win-win situation. Best of luck to you on your efforts to make this a reality. If you've got questions or would like some help implementing this 5-step process in your business, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I truly enjoy watching the transformation that happens when a business makes this a priority. Now, before we go, 2 quick asks. Share this podcast with your fellow business owners. I'm trying to get these free business tips to as many business owners as possible. I want every business owner to be successful, and this is my gift to you and to them. Thanks for passing this along. And lastly, please leave a review on this podcast. The more thumbs up this podcast gets, the more it will be found when someone's stuck or struggling and looking for advice. Your review can help make this happen. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss the ideal training model. You won't want to miss it. Meanwhile, if you have a question, suggestion, or would simply like to connect, shoot me an email at rich@tourtoprofit.com. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Business Tune-Up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, find more resources at tourtoprofit.com and connect with Rich by sending a message to rich@tourtoprofit.com. Until next time, ride hard.